Hello and welcome again from my side. I'm here now with my colleague Wolfram Höpken. We are arriving here at a very exciting session. Okay, sorry, I have to mute. Hello and welcome again from my side. I'm here now with my colleague Wolfram Höpken. We are arriving here at a very exciting session. Okay, so sorry, there was a little delay because my different tabs have been open. So welcome from my side. We asked students in this new format about their ideas how ICT could support sustainability and equality. It was the first time the ENTER21 Challenge was hosted here at the ENTER conference run by IFIT. So we just would like to introduce you a little bit why we asked the students. We would like to encourage students to compete with new ideas and ideally in an international and interdisciplinary team. So Wolfram, we put together some figures about the competition just to show it to the audience. Would you like to take over here, please?
Yes, thank you, Claudia. Yeah, we had great interest from different teams, from different countries who registered for our first ENTER21 Challenge and started the overall process. And finally, we received submissions from over 35 participants working together in 9 interdisciplinary teams. And each team has been coached by a respective scholar from the university the students are from. And each team has been coached by a separate mentor from industry or from a tourism organization. So this has been the overall setting. And we have got three companies who served as a mentor in this innovation challenge. And the first company has been Amadeus. Amadeus has been represented by Sven Hafner and Lukas Bobes. They supported this 2 teams. Then the second organization has been Global Ecotourism Network, represented by Kirsi Havarinen, Marianella Camacho Furmajor, and Ariane Janer. And the third company has been Outdoor Active, represented by Martin Socek and Dominik Huber, which we'll know from the keynote presentation yesterday. So many thanks to the mentors for their fantastic support of the student teams. We had lots of interesting discussions with the students, and it's really interesting to view the way how the students start and then the work progresses from discussion to discussion. That's really a very interesting process. And therefore, this thanks to the mentors again for supporting this overall process. Okay, now Claudia, what is the main benefit of participating in our innovation challenge, and especially what is the benefit for the selected 5 finalists?
Thank you, Wolfram. So Friday, there was a jury meeting last Friday. And I would also like to thank to some of our colleagues from IFIT who joined the jury. And we discussed the 5 teams who are presenting today. And first of all, I think the selected teams have the chance today to present their ideas and concepts to a wider audience. We have around 260 tickets sold. So this means that maybe 100 people are listening now, and maybe they are getting also in contact later with the students. So the teams will be promoted on our website and also in social media. Well, additionally for the winning team, to the exposure on the website, social media, and also today in the conference and tomorrow, the winning team will receive a free IFIT membership also for 2 years. And based on that, all the teams could enter the ENTER conference with a ticket for all the days. So they also could learn a little bit. But let's start, Wolfram. What do you think?
Here you can see this is just a certificate, of course, the participants will receive at the end. Yeah? And of course, there will be some prize for some additional prize for the winning team, as Claudia said. Okay, now the teams. Let's give an overview of the teams which will present in the next hour. Oh, now the presentation is gone. Yeah. So it's the first one is AirTouch. The second one is Locals from Zero. The third one is the Round Table. The fourth one, NA Stories. And the fifth one, Ultramarine. So these are the 5 teams which have been selected as finalists. And they will now present, and then we will, at the end, we will then announce the winning team. So let's start with the first team with AirTouch.
Good luck to all. Hello, Diana, Julian, and René. Could you please turn on your camera? No one can see you, and we would like to see you while you are presenting. Is that possible?
Unfortunately not, but I was expecting the presentation to be seen here.
Okay, you don't want to show yourself?
No.
Okay, so then we put you back and we shared only the presentation.
So let's start. Hello, we are AirTouch, and we are students at the Ravensburg-Weingarten University of Applied Science, and we have set ourselves the goal of making tourism more sustainable. And here are some facts. In 2018, about 22 million tons of CO2 were emitted by airplanes in Germany, and worldwide it was even 918 million tons of CO2. And airports, among others, are accepted to make air traffic and thus also tourism more sustainable and environmentally friendly in the future. And in addition, there are 17.89 million environmental activists in Germany who are campaigning for a cleaner future. And this leads to even more pressure on airports. And we at AirTouch have developed an innovative IoT monitoring station for this purpose. And our small, mobile, and also cost-effective IoT monitoring stations enable air values of a large area to be recorded, evaluated, and displayed. And GPS tracking of the monitoring stations makes it possible to evaluate air values according to location and thus gain new insights. Furthermore, with our IoT monitoring station, we make it possible for everyone to view the air values via a website. And to show how our IoT monitoring stations can be used in practice, Hamburg Airport is equipped with our monitoring stations, and now the use case will be explained in more detail.
In order to record air data on an airport premise, the airport needs to distribute approximately 10 monitoring stations on their premises. These 10 stations record the air values and send them to a base station. With using our monitoring stations, the executive board of an airport can view or publish the data and is able to identify the airlines which pollute the airport site and to which extent. Based on these findings, the board can, for example, introduce an individual pricing model and thus make the airlines pay for their environmental emissions. In the long run, this has the advantage that airlines, due to an increased cost burden on old airplanes, take them out of service and thus make the air values on the airport side permanently improved. As a result, tourism can be made more sustainable and environmentally friendly. To explain that from a more technical perspective, our station consists of a central microcontroller to which various sensors and a GPS tracker are connected. This microcontroller is pre-processing the data and is powered by a battery which draws its energy from a solar panel. The collected data from the monitoring station is transferred to the base station with the help of the IoT transmitter. The base station is responsible for the management, evaluation, and visualization of the data.
Our advantage over other monitoring stations is on the one hand the IoT radio technology, which communicates via the license-free frequency range. This technology allows us on the one hand lower power consumption and on the other hand a high range. Any number of monitoring stations can be connected to the base station. Thanks to the size and the independent power supply of our monitoring station, a location-independent use is possible. The data is stored on a central server, as in the case of traditional and other solutions. We offer our IoT monitoring stations via a subscription model, which consists of the base station, which costs €100 per month, plus the monitoring stations, which cost an additional €15 per unit per month. In return, this model includes a comprehensive service for repair and defective monitoring stations. In addition, the base station can be purchased for €15,000 and the monitoring station for €150 each. We are AirTouch, and we thank you for your attention.
It's funny when you're pushed back on stage and you don't know when you are arriving, right? So thank you very much for your presentation. It was on point, 7 minutes. It was that what we said, the time for the presentation. And now we have a short Q&A. What I would like to know is from where you started with this idea. So how does this idea appeared? So are you a frequent flyer and you thought, okay, how can I change the airport, things like that. So maybe you can give me a short answer where you started with this idea.
Actually, our Professor Höpken came up with this idea and we said, yeah, that's interesting, and worked with it and thought about it, and yeah.
And you liked the idea?
We liked the idea, yes.
And you had the possibility to go ahead because your mentor is also someone who is organizing things at airports, right?
That's right, yes. He had some very good ideas.
So great. So is there, I will have a look quickly, Wolfram, if you want to also to ask a question, I will have a look if there is something in the main hall, a question.
No, I can just add that we had this.
Also someone who is organizing things at airports, right?
That's right, yes. He had some very good ideas.
Now we have the
So great.
So the idea has been generated, or it has been together with Sven Hafner. We came up with the general setting, the context, where then the concrete idea the students had takes place in. So it was only the context which has been given to search for an innovative idea in this area of airport and sustainability and so on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the comments in for you, team. AirTouch from the main hall is that it was really clearly presented. Someone wrote that they like the idea, and now the 10 minutes are over. So thank you very much for your presentation. I have had the timer here. So thank you very much for the presentation and for your answer to this spontaneous question. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you and well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, now the next team is now locals from zero.
Hello.
Okay, let's start. Hello to everyone. Welcome to our presentation. We are Team Locals from Zero from the Faculty of Tourism Studies Turistica from Portorož, Slovenia. Locals from Zero is a marketplace for booking local experiences that we developed prior to the competition. For the purpose of Enter, under the mentorship of Jan, we came up with a new idea that would be also our next step in upgrading our marketplace. Today, we are presenting to you community events from Zero. In Slovenia, we have 24,000 voluntary associations. These associations organize events that benefit local societies, preserve their local traditions, take care of environment, and keep their communities together. But they also face quite a lot of challenges. Work is done on voluntary basis, therefore these events are non-profit. Additionally, young people are moving out of villages and are less and less eager to help out. Traditions could get lost and discontinued. And as such, these kind of events are invisible and overlooked by foreign tourists. On the other side, the demand for authentic experiences is growing. We can see that from the survey. Tourists want to discover new places, meet locals, experience and learn about the local culture, and above all, connect with people. The question that arises is how to connect tourists with such events. And our proposal is to reach out to local associations and add their events to our marketplace. With that, they get greater visibility, and importantly, events get bookable online. And we finally allow tourists to enter the backstage. They can get involved in the local communities, join their events, learn and socialize. Rudi, take it away.
Thank you, Jaka. Hello from my side. I will present how community events from Zero are sustainable. So our idea is immersed in all of the three pillars of sustainability. From an economic point of view, it produces additional income for the local community, and it produces financial stability of these voluntary associations to keep organizing these events in the future and, of course, improving them. Socially, because we are providing additional income for people in the local communities, we are encouraging them to stay there and not move out. This is especially true for young people. We are also creating meaningful and long-term connections between tourists and the local communities, and of course, encouraging intergenerational cooperation. Tourists would be able to participate in such events, which are often focused on preserving the natural heritage of their environment. By limiting the number of tickets, we are also limiting our footprint on the local environment and, of course, the natural one. Our idea also solves many problems that have occurred in tourism over the past few years. These events are located mostly in rural, remote areas, and such tourists are then being redirected away from the classic hotspots, which were previously overcrowded, especially true before the pandemic. By limiting the number of tickets per each event, we are keeping these events on a small scale and of good quality. And by doing that, we are limiting the burden on the local communities and the natural environment. And how are we different from other booking platforms? We have developed a system with the so-called scouts, who are individuals who help these local associations in every organizational step. They help them to become visible and bookable online. If needed, scouts will also be present at the location and help overcome language barriers.
Okay, so now we will analyze our market potential and customer values. For this purpose, we will focus on three niche segments. Going through the information that we gathered from Statista and other sources, we concluded that camping holidays have been trending and are on the rise in the last couple of years. Especially in these times, traveling with a camper has its advantages. Emphasis on individual and safe living and moving. This type of tourists want to remain flexible while traveling and are usually choosing safer travel destinations within Central Europe. Flexibility and mobility are two main qualities we are also searching for because our bookable community events will be spread all around the country. From this point forward, we would like to inform them about our local community events and try to enrich and expand their local experience. From Google search trends, we also concluded that our target market, besides camping tourists, also still includes glamping and other boutique accommodation tourists.
We can't hear you today.
You're muted.
Just unmute yourself. I think you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, all right, for that. Okay, so our platform and business model, let's take a look. We have already published 2 experiences on our marketplace, locally based experience. But first, our marketplace is currently available at localsfromzero.org in beta version. But simultaneously, we are already developing a brand new, more sophisticated and elaborated version of marketplace that is expected to be released in the mid of February. What you can see now on the screen is actually the landing page of our beta version, when you can scroll through all the events already available at our marketplace. For the purpose of this competition and this presentation, we added new category called Community for Events, and I will walk you through 2 of such events. On the left-hand side here, you can see traditional sage hike that takes place in very unique karst small village. This is usually intended only for locals and neighbors. On the right-hand side, this event is a little bit different. It is about building new and renovating existing dry stone walls. Why? Because this region is characterized by stone, limestone, and locals are expert of this. With the help of scouts, we actually agreed with local representatives and members of association that they will open the door and invite additional but limited number of people to their events. And this is very important point. Why we say limited? Because we want that tickets sold through our marketplace will be always limited, because we don't want to put additional pressure and burden on local communities, but still want that the experience is personalized and good. But how our model actually works? Local scouts and association will publish the experience, and our team will review it. We will be collecting somewhere between 15 and 30% commission, depending on whether an external scout is involved or not. The rest of the money will be given to the association or activity experience performer. Part of the money raised on the platform, this is our commission, will be constantly given back to the communities through education, non-financial awards, workshop, etc. That's all from our side, but I would like to point out one another thing. Our project garnered tremendous interest from students in recent months, actually. And at the Faculty for Tourism Studies, we started bringing some activities into the courses. And actually, we are designing quite a new course framework. So we believe that this collaboration may be interesting for you as well and for your students. So you are more than welcome to check this link, this second link below, and drop us a line if you're interested. Thank you from our team.
So thank you very much, Locals from Zero. Very interesting. We were deeply impressed when we saw your presentation. You were a little bit over the time, so nearly 1 minute. You had a problem in between with the mic, so we just let you go to the end. how came the idea? How started you with the idea? Also, the same question for you, like for the others before. Where did you start? And what was, let's say, what was the first moment when you came up with the idea?
Actually, we started all together through the global initiative called Tourism from Zero at the beginning of the pandemic. We set a questionnaire and we start gathering different opinions and ideas from different tourism stakeholders from all around the world, what they think about the tourism now and in the future. And there were a few ideas that came also from the side of from our faculty, from us actually. And we then connect those two ideas together and started working on our concept. This is one perspective. Another one is that we are all living in, okay, Slovenia is very small at all, but we are also living in very small villages and municipalities in Slovenia. And the problem is that not the problem, this is very interesting, that we have many gems, hidden gems, pearls. These are local craftsmen and all of them, but they're overlooked. You know, the technology advancement is huge in the recent years, and we need to help them somehow. So they need to have kind of backbone all the time. So that's why we start to think about scouts and all our model and that stuff.
Today, thank you very much. Really good point where you started, and I also like the link to the university, to the courses. Yeah, Wolfram, do you want to join?
No, just comment. It's really a very interesting idea. Really like the idea to integrate local people, and what Dominic already posted in the comments. That's what tourism is about. So it's a really interesting idea. Well
you
done.
get a good comment in the main hall.
Yep.
So thank you very much for your presentation. So the time is over now, and we move on to the next one. Thanks a lot to Slovenia.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and the next team is the round table.
Hello, everybody. A warm welcome to the audience and the jury. A big part of all our lives, as well as in tourism, is food. All of us eat every day. For many people, that's even a reason to travel.
In Germany, 1 out of 5 meals is eaten out of house. That's 11.8 billion meals per year. Sustainability finds itself at a starting point in gastronomy. We asked ourselves, how can we promote a sustainable development here?
We are Felix and Lukas, studying sustainable tourism in Eberswalde. And we have to admit that we cannot handle 12 million meals.
But what we can do is encourage the key actors in the system. The multipliers are restaurants. There are 250,000 restaurants in Germany. We believe that it's possible to reach a relevant number of them and bring sustainability to the mainstream.
In the last couple of weeks, we went out there and asked restaurant owners about sustainability and its barriers.
For us at Dingstum's Dumplings, sustainability is one of the most important things, but still there's so many sides to being sustainable that it's hard to track them in the daily business. Because as you know, in gastronomy, you have a lot of different work fields, and to track and view the sustainability of your company, there's just not the right tool yet.
So in addition to Maurit's statement, we identified 4 main barriers. First, in the everyday business, restaurant owners have a very tight time frame. Almost nobody has the time to work oneself into this complex topic of sustainability when being on your own. Also, there are no digital and effective tools to track whether your business works sustainably or not. Current solutions on the market are in most cases incomplete and expensive. Most people also do not know what benefits arise while working sustainably, economically, ecologically, and socially wise.
At last, the hospitality industry in Germany is digitized below the country's average. Barriers are high investment costs or old company processes. Speaking specifically about sustainability, the only thing you can do as a caterer to track your environmental footprint right now is to print out 7 pages, fill them in by hand, mail it via post wait for a few days, and pay 450 euros. This service is offered by the DEHOGA. I mean, this is a decent service, but it's just very bureaucratic and not digital. We want to offer simple, penny-saving steps that any caterer can take.
We are the Round Table, aiming at all restaurant owners in the German-speaking market with a B2B approach. We are building a smart tool that makes the transformation of know-how about sustainability scalable, tangible, and fun. What you see here is the heart of our tool, the Sustainability Management System. Let me explain what you're looking at. With our tool, every caterer can transform their business without on-location consulting. With a data-driven and digitized process, our solution has the ability to enter the mass market. Restaurateurs can educate themselves and their team and directly take action and time their environmental footprint immediately. So that's empowering on one hand and a huge benefit for our society on the other. So how does it work?
Scan our QR code or find us online. Start your free environmental footprint, start your free environmental screening, track your performance starting in 5 categories. See the results in your personal dashboard, well visualized. We created a digitized and automated evaluation process that shows you where you are today and where you can go. You want to improve? Our sustainability management system will guide you. With our gamification approach, we offer lots of different ways to learn, grow, and improve. We offer individual subscription plans for you and your team. And hands-on. We show you the best products and connect you with the relevant partner in every category. Through strategic partnerships and affiliate links, we ensure that all stakeholders benefit from the tool. What's the customer value? What do we offer? We enable every restaurant owner to transform their business themselves by digitizing and tracking their performance and then seeing their impact. That saves money and resources at the same time. We help them to market their effort in sustainability, gain more customers, and be ahead of their competition.
With our approach, we want to overcome gatekeeping in sustainability. Isolated smart solutions already do exist. They just don't find their way into the mainstream. Let's start sharing know-how. Let's start working together. Let's team up. We're about to collaborate with Die Gemeinschaft, a strong multi-channel network across the gastronomy supply chain. Their members master the ultimate challenge. They work sustainably and run an economically successful business at the same time. Felix already worked with them in the last years. So with these 20 entrepreneurs, we found partners who are willing to share know-how with the community. Now let's have a look at the market. Revenue in gastronomy has grown constantly over the last 20 years. Nowadays, 70% of German restaurant owners state that their guests value sustainability when eating out. Sustainability is a mega trend reaching out to restaurateurs, but reacting to the customer's demand is a tricky challenge for them, and here's why. In order to transform their restaurant, owners have to manage several dimensions of sustainability at the same time. They have to think about energy, infrastructure, waste management, and purchase. After all, they also need to find intelligent ways to communicate this to their customers. For all those work fields, restaurateurs have to handle different players and combine dozens of individual solutions. We think it's time for an all-in-one solution, and that's what the Roundtable provides. Now let's have a closer look at 3 key competitors.
Remember DEHOGA? This is the example I told you earlier about. We chose DEHOGA because they are a benchmark player. Gastronomy for the IT infrastructure for restaurants and hotels, and Klimateller because they interact in the same field as we do. The only thing they make different is that they only view the CO2 footprint of diets, nothing more. So we checked their performance in the 5 categories most relevant for our product.
Since we started this presentation, almost 150,000 meals were consumed out of house.
150,000 opportunities to get better. Let's enable restaurant owners to do so. Join our network today for a better tomorrow. Thank you for your attention. Here you can see how we're planning to proceed. We're happy to answer questions either now live or via email.
On point, 7 minutes. So thanks for your presentation, Lucas and Felix. So since you are my students, I would like to hand over to Wolfram for the first question to you. Wolfram?
Yes, I just check whether there are any questions in the stream so far, but there haven't been so far. So, no, a very interesting project, I think. Yeah, and you did this all you started with a mobile guide now, so that the people can type in the things in mobile. Did you think about other technologies to integrate them in the next step? For example, IoT services. For example, some of those things might be in the future at least. You could measure them automatically. For example, water consumption or things, something like this. So there are coming up services in the IoT area. Have you thought about this to integrate this as a further step in your work?
We were thinking in the first step before that we will definitely use a data-driven approach, that restaurant owners see statistics and KPIs and know how the performance is. Yet, I think IoT is a step too far to think about, as we have to bring the product to the market first and see how it works. But this is definitely the future, to integrate IoT, because this takes a lot of time away from the restaurateurs, that they don't have to type it in the phone, but the IoT systems will do it automatically into our system. If this is compatible, this would be the perfect solution for sustainability.
So there are thank you. When I step in here quickly, there are 2 questions from the audience. There's one from Charlotte. What is the tech platform is the first question. And do you have any restaurants signed up already?
I didn't get the first question.
Which tech platform? So what is your technology? What is the platform you are using? And the second question is if you already have customers.
We have partners who are willing to share, like the Gemeinschaft, which are over 20 entrepreneurs. Yet we haven't funded a company. It is just the idea. We're just in the really beginning. So the next step will be that we're writing our master thesis to get scientific evidence. And we're already speaking with business angels to help us fund this project, because it takes money to build something like this. And yeah, then we need a co-founder who can code, because we cannot code. We have the ideas, and then we want to make it happen. So it's one step too early to answer this question.
Thank you. So send the message out that you are searching for programmers. There's one last question, and then we have to go ahead. You compare with German platforms in your market overview. Did you also look internationally? Because maybe there is a competitor you overseen.
Yeah, thanks for the question. That's a good point. Yeah, we had a look at the international market, but most solutions we could find aimed at hotels, and mainly at the hotel chains. So the big scale solutions, but solutions for the smaller entrepreneurs and restaurateurs who are maybe not run so fancy restaurants. There we couldn't find much. And we want to reach this mainstream that has been overlooked in the past.
Thank you very much, Lucas and Felix, and good luck. So we go ahead to the next team. This is Victor and Fabian.
Hello. Hi. Okay, I think we start right. Okay. Welcome to our presentation about our app concept, NA Stories. We are the team RVU, consisting of Viktor Salansky and me, Fabian Knoll. First, we start with the problem. No, one click. Okay, the problem. Children, according to statistics, the new generation of children is around 25% less outdoors than their parents used to be. Why this is cannot be simply summarized. There are many factors influencing it. Media overly cautions parents, nature not within reach, parents' income, and many more. Also, sustainable behavior in the open air is hardly very taught, and hardly any skills are built up. But what to do about this? Okay. Children need to be motivated. bring children closer to nature, and create an understanding for nature. We have we want to convey a sustainable knowledge, but how we can achieve this? Okay, how to do? We have a concept, the NA story concept, based on discovering the world in a playful way, influencing the target group in a sustainable and educationally valuable way. Genau, but what is the NA story concept? Okay, the NA story concept is a concept of an app, like we see here. It can look, no? Okay, the app accompanies the user while hiking. The user has to do challenges on the hike, data is collected while hiking and performing challenges. We say more to the challenges later. After the hike, an audio story is provided as a reward. We have a reward system for going outside. The audio stories are based on the collected data we collecting during the hike. Okay, but for who is this NA story concept? As we say before, it's for children. The main target group are children between 6 and 30 years. Children with parents who like to be outdoors are particularly receptive. We see on the presentation our main target group. We have yes, we have here a persona of Tim. It represented the typical target group with his characteristics, like he's be bored, keep calm for a long time, fear of animals. His father likes to go outside. Okay, but who is the competitor? What is the competition we have? Okay, there are several outdoor apps for this target group. The most famous is Pokemon Go or Agent X. But what is different about NA Stories and the competition? NA Stories provide sustainable knowledge. The mobile phone is used in the background. The user can concentrate on what is happening around him, and the user is not tied to his cell phone. Okay, but how we achieve this? First, we have to start at the beginning. Use a story building kit and collect data. With this data, we want to teach an AI, and then use this AI. But for what we use this, now we go into details. NA story structure. At the beginning, the user only has to activate the tracking. Then he can concentrate on his hiking experience. After a while and randomly, challenges will appear. The cell phone draws attention by vibration. The child can then accept and complete the challenges, and then put the cell phone away and continue hiking. But what are the challenges? First, we have the fitness challenges. Exercise to motivate or keep the child busy. Then we have some stunt-able challenges. The right behavior should be practiced here. For example, be very quiet for a while in a wild center or something like that. And then we have educational challenges. Information is provided in a playful way. The user should use this information to answer questions or to interact with the environment. Take pictures, for example. Next, the story creation, the heart of our idea. First, we start with curtain paths. Adventure trails, amusement parks, other popular routes. Next, we need to collect information on site on this curtain paths. Bioinformation, plants, animals, natural conditions, special circumstance, bridges, playgrounds, or big stones, anything special on this place. This is especially interesting for organizations like an amusement park. Our goal is we want to use an AI for the story creation. There are organizations like Digitize the Planet where we can obtain any information from any location. That makes us not bound to a location. The kid can use, our target group can use the app anywhere when he's going hiking with his parents. We are not tied to a location. Can an AI do this today? AI used to write novels. This is not that far. There are only short text can be created, but children's stories are not that complex as a whole novel. So we are nearly near here. Important, a lot of data from children's stories is required to teach this AI, which must be validated beforehand. The previous created stories can be used for training the AI. Okay, now Victor.
Hi, I'll go over the numbers to better classify the idea as a business. In Germany, there are about 6 million children between the age of 6 and 13. And especially the children of about 17 million hikers should be easy to bring to our app. That's a core user base of about 1.2 million children right off the bat. Plus an additional 4 million potential users we can acquire later on. Given that 8 of about 10 children hear audiobooks on a regular basis, we expect to have a good acceptance among the children and parents, and we see potential in audio stories as a reward to get children excited about nature and sustainability while relieving parents on their hiking adventures.
Yes, children must be taught how to think, not what to think. It's said by Margaret Mead. And with this sentence, we want to close and answer questions.
So thank you very much to Victor and Fabian. So you are easily on point, 7 minutes, very good for the presentation. Thank you. So I really like this idea, and I would like to ask you also, why are you working out of a perspective for, let's say, parents or with children? Do you have children? Do you know the problem, or how did you get the idea?
We thought we started with completely another idea for challenges for Erwachsene, for grown-up people.
Yeah, grown-up.
For grown-ups. So there was the idea that the grown-ups could go on a hike and complete challenges for themselves. We deemed then that the idea isn't optimal for grown-ups because there is not enough incentive to make this happen. So we decided, okay, let's try a slightly different idea, but with children. So we got the children as our main group. We took the story approach.
We look for rewarding to motivate them.
Yeah, exactly.
And many brainstorming and many ideas and
so we arrived
a long way to the idea.
And so we arrived on this idea with the stories, the hiking, and the children.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you had a good partner for that. So I just was quickly, and I think I disturbed the sound here. I was quickly in the main hall and had a look at the comments. So the comments are really good for you. There is a great presentation, a good possibility to use edutainment, but no questions so far.
No questions.
Thank you very much. I have no further questions. Wolfram, do you want to step in here, or?
Well, there's been a question by Ariane whether you looked into existing schemes around the world about getting children linked to nature.
I'm not sure. I don't have anything in mind right now. Do you know anything, Fabian?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry, I don't understand right.
No, whether you looked into other approaches, how to engage children, with nature.
Yeah, we looked on Pokemon Go and Agent X, and the children are every time bound to the smartphone, and we want one with the technology of smartphones, what is interesting for children, but they don't have to be bound to it. We say the first thing we talked about the app who you conquer zones. Then we say, yeah, but you have to look on the smartphone. Then we say, okay, the smartphone has to be in the pocket, and just in a few times you should take it out to make a challenge or something that makes fun. And then we said, okay, that's different to other apps that are already in the market.
Ariane posted an interesting link to an organization, childrenandnature.org.
I saw it.
Okay.
There's no app for this. Okay.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
And
Thank you
thanks.
very much. So
Thank
we
you.
go ahead.
And now we have the fifth team will present. Now it's Ultramarine.
Hello, Lisa. Hello, Maren. We could not hear you because you are muted. Could you please start again?
Sorry, sure.
Okay, thanks.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
So I think everybody knows the problem driving through a city and not finding a parking lot. Boat owners at Lake Constance in Germany have the same issue finding a guest berth. So our idea is an app for digitizing the agency of guest berth at Lake Constance. My name is Lisa from the University Ravensburg, and our project partner is the Ultramarine Marina. Here can you see some scenes from our video. Ultramarine is the largest marina at Lake Constance and offers about 1,400 berths, meaning landing places for boats. They are all permanently rented, but when their owners are not using them, guest boats can rent them for one or a couple of nights. Until now, you had to navigate through the whole marina and look for berths with the right size for the right available period of time. Ultramarine and lots of other marinas at Lake Constance are aiming for a digital solution, an app for the agency of guest berths. The major advantage for the customers is the improved customer value. The free berth is guaranteed. You have longer and more relaxed days on the water, and you save time. Also, you're saving fuel, and you can pay cashless and book extra services. For the marina, it's a true quantum leap in digitization and is improving the image. The market volume is truly given. Lots of boat owners already requested a digital offer. There are less noise emissions and a less impact on nature. And the app pushes longer stays and the sale of additional services. We implemented the criteria equality and sustainability like this. We interpreted equality on the one hand as digital quality. So the app is a digital innovation and builds the first step to digital quality. And on the other hand, the human equality by giving the app a simple user interface without barriers so everybody can use it. The sustainable aspect is given by saving CO2 and fuel, the noise reduction and the paper reduction. Also by supporting sailing as it is a sustainable way of traveling. And promoting social exchange, even internationally on Lake Constance. Now my teammate Maren will show you the functions of the app.
Maren, you are muted.
Okay, so you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Now,
Okay, 1 second. So you can hear me and you can see everything. Is it right? Yeah. Okay. So then I will go on with the structure of our app. So first the registration. There you have to register with your name, your email address, your password, and you have to indicate your license plate number. And as well, you have to indicate if you're an owner at Ultramarine or not. Then the second point is the menu. There you have 3 options. The first one is to find a free berth if you are looking for a free berth at Ultramarine. Then the second one is to unlock your own berth. So if you're an owner at Ultramarine of a berth,
then you can unlock it for some other. And the third one is to get more information about ultramarine, something like maps or pictures, some services you can get there, or some pictures of the sanitary facilities. Then the next one is the filter option. There you have to enter the size of your boat and the requested period of time, so the system can have a look and search for available and suitable berths. Then you have to indicate some extra services. So if you want to get access to the sanitary facilities, or if you want to get access for the Wi-Fi. And the app is showing you your personal advice, inclusive your additional services, and you can choose your payment options. So you can pay by Apple Pay, by PayPal, or by credit card, but that's are only some examples. And in the last step, you get a summary of your reservation and your personal access codes, and it's giving you a direction to your booked berth per GPS, so you can find it easily. Yeah, and if you want to implement such an app, you have to start with a survey about the expectations and needs. And this, of course, about the berth holders, but also about the guests and the marina operators. And the second one is you have to start to inform all your stakeholders and start with a marketing campaign. As well, you have to clarify the implementation. So if you want to implement it per ultramarine, or if you want to do it by a commune marina, then you have to clarify the organization. So you have to clarify the question who want to participate. So do you want to do it on your own, or do you want to do it with a cooperation? And the last one is to clarify your financial aspects. So do you want to start a pilot project? So if you want to start a pilot project, you can get some extra money by the government, or do you want to do with a cooperation, so you can spend the money not on your own? So every company who is included in this implementation can spend some money, or do you want to finance it with subventions? So yeah, that's it. Thank you for your listening, and thank you for your time, and we hope you have a nice evening.
So, hello, thank you very much for your presentation. So I think this is a problem that you have seen right in front of your university, or where you are living, or how did you start with the idea?
I will answer. So our teammate is working at Ultramarine, and they are for a long time looking for such an app, but no harbor is already ready to implement such an app. So he came to this idea. Yeah.
So thank you very much. So as we are running out of time, and there is also a little bit crowded in the backstage, I would like to ask you now to leave the room, that we can start with the award idea. We would like to say some words, and then it's going on. So thank you very much.
Right. Okay, so now we have heard very interesting and inspiring ideas and concepts of those 5 finalists. And when I looked at the comments, I think most of you liked the ideas. So you see, the students come up with fresh ideas. So I really like this overall process. So now, of course, the question for this session, now for this evening, is who is the winner? And now the winner of the ENTER21 Innovation Challenge is the Round Table by Lukas Freitag and Felix Fröhlich. Congratulations. Please, Lukas and Felix, come on stage again.
Maybe I can just, for those people who haven't seen the criteria on our website, I will shortly introduce the criteria. It was vision and innovation. So we looked also what is really an innovation, or could be an innovation. We had market potential and customer value. So there has to be clearly described who is the target group, and what could be the business model behind, functional and technical specification, clearly sustainability, and equality, and if the team has a starting point, means if someone would give them money, where would they start from tomorrow on? So hopefully we can see now, yeah, here they are. So congratulations to the team roundtable from my side. Well, I think we can share the screen for the certificate.
Yes, I have it uploaded, but it's there it is. So here I have to switch to the next one. So there it is.
Here it is. Here we go. So let me take a screenshot that we can also share that on social media, and maybe a comment from you, Lucas and Felix. It is a surprise, or it was clear that you win, or?
Thank you very much. Well, and we hope that when you have your next restaurant visit, hopefully soon after Corona, you think about sustainability and maybe ask the waiter, the staff, about how it's going in the restaurant, because that might be a good start to raise awareness.
And I think also it's a bit overwhelming. All ideas were very good and very, very different, very interesting. But I think for us, it's very motivating to see that people think that it is a good idea. And this gives us confidence to continue. And hopefully maybe in 2 or 3 years, we can come to the ENTER conference and speak about the solution we developed if we get there. Yes.
This would be great. It was a very close result. So I think you mentioned it. It was that there were also other good ideas, yeah, I was just reading the chat because a lot of people trying to get in here. Sorry, I was a little bit here in the comments. Thank you very much for presenting, for all your work. And thank you, Wolfram, and thank you to the jury. Hopefully we hear soon from this idea from Lucas and Felix. See you at the beach later, right?
Perhaps a final announcement. Of course, we will like to execute this innovation challenge, the next year again. And then, of course, we will announce it quite early in the year, so that all of you have a chance to easily integrate this into your study program, into your lectures, so that we can have even more teams next year. So watch out for the announcement for the next year's ENTER22 Innovation Challenge. Thank you all.
Thank you, Wolfram. And maybe we can start next year and ask the winner from this year what happened in that year.